Good day everyone. I am Conor de la Peña from BEC and I am now your presenter. And my assigned topic is all about building self-awareness and development of society. So, self-awareness is an important skill that we can cultivate to help us progress in our personal development journey. And we could all use a little more of it sometimes. In our stressful modern lives, it's easy to react passively to our environment and fracture opportunities to connect. Possessing emotional intelligence and regulating our emotions should be some of the most valued skills. Self awareness is the cornerstone of that intelligence. So, what is self awareness? Self awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or do not align with your internal standards. If you're highly self aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. So, let's move on to how do we develop self awareness? Self awareness is the ability to monitor our inner and external world. Our thoughts and feelings arise as signals. Developing self awareness allows us to keep from being swept away by those signals and instead objectively and thoughtfully respond to them. Self awareness people understand their internal experience and their impact on the experience of others. So, with this regard, we are in a situation that we should always increase our self-awareness so that we will be able to help other people or even yourself. So according to Metcalfe and Michelle in 1999, when encouraging self-awareness from the cool system of stimuli, the increase in negative affect can be lessened. So it means that the ability to self-evaluate has been criticized in the past of increasing negative affect, and a rise in negative emotional affect is a hindrance to progress in self-awareness. So, when working on self-awareness, it is essential to do so from a self-distance perspective with a focus on reasons underlying emotional experience rather than that was emotionally experienced. And it was according to Cross, Aduke, and Michelle in 2005. An open, objective observation of feelings, senses, desires, and actions can help someone move up the flourishing continuum. There's no need to relieve negative emotions, but noticing them and learning from their presence can boost self awareness. And let's proceed to the key areas of self awareness. So, humans human beings are complex and diverse. To become more self aware, we should develop an understanding of ourselves in many areas. So these are the key areas for self awareness include our personality traits, personal values, habits, emotions, and psychological needs that drive our behaviors. So first, we have the personality. We don't normally change our personalities, values, and needs based on what we learn about ourselves. But understanding of our personalities can help us find situations in which we will thrive and help us avoid situations in which we will experience too much stress. So for this instance, if you're a highly introverted person, you are likely to experience more stress in sales position that a highly extroverted person would. Then, so if you are highly introverted, you should either learn skills to cope up with the demands of a sales position that requires extrovert type behavior patterns, or you should find a position that is more compatible with your personality. Awareness of your personality helps you analyze such a decision. Next is next would be the values. It is important that we each know and focus on our personal values. Okay, for instance, um, if you if your first priority is being there on your children or your relationship with God, it's very easy to lose sight of those priorities on a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis. During the workday, so many problems and opportunities arise that our list of things to do can easily exceed the time we have to do them. Since few, if any, of those things pertain to what we value most, it's easy to spend too much time on lower priority activities. When we focus on our values, we are more likely to accomplish what we considered most important. Third will be the habits. Okay, our habits are the behaviors that we repeat routinely and often automatically. Although we would like to possess the habits that help us interact effectively with and manage others, we can probably all identify that at least one of our habits that decreases our effectiveness. For example, if you are a manager who never consults your staff before making decisions, that habit may interfere with your ability to build your staff members' commitment to the decisions and their decision making skills as well. Okay, next will be the needs. So Maslow and the other scholars have identified a variety of psychological needs that drive our behavior, such as needs for esteem, affection, belongingness, achievement, self-actualization, power, and control. One of the advantages of knowing which needs exert the strongest influence on our own behaviors is the ability to understand what and or how they affect our interpersonal relationship. For instance, for instance, most of us have probably known people who have a high need for status. They attracted to high status occupations and they seek high status positions within their organizations. Such people also want the things that symbolizes their status. They insist that they be shown respect and they want privileges and perks that people of lower status can have. Sometimes these people fight for things that others see as inconsequential, like a bigger office. Needs cause motivation, and when needs aren't satisfied, they can cause frustrations, conflicts, and stress. Next will be the emotions. So we all know that emotional self-awareness has become a hot topic of discussion recently because um, it's one of the five facets of emotional intelligence, understanding your own feelings, what causes them, and how they impact your thoughts and actions is emotional self awareness. If you were once excited about your job but not excited now, can you get excited again? So, to answer that question, it helps to understand the internal process associated with getting excited. That sounds simpler than it is. Here's an analogy. I think I know how my car starts. I put gas in the tank, put the key in the ignition and turn the key. But the mechanic knows a lot more about what's involved in getting the car started than I do. He knows what happens under the hood. The mechanic is able to start my car on the occasions when I'm not, because he understands the internal process. Similarly, a person with high emotional self-awareness understands the internal process associated with emotional experiences and therefore has greater control over them. So let's move on to um okay, my own way to become more self-aware. Maybe it is my own experiences because I experience overthinking and I am I overthink a lot of my body shaming, and I am insecure also, so that I choose this self-awareness as it is my advantage to share with you. So the question then, it how can we cultivate and develop it further? There are many ways to do so. Okay, below is what I what I've done when I used to overthink. I was too insecure in myself. So the only one way that create me more um it is um effective is the meditation. So meditate. Yes, meditate. As most people know by now, meditation is the practice of improving your moment by moment awareness. Most forms of meditation begin with focusing on and appreciating the simplicity of inhaling and exhaling. But this don't need to be normal or ritualistic. Greater clarity can also come from regular moments of pause and reflection. So speaking personally, um I try to gain greater awareness by simply finding a few seconds to focus on my breathing, often before sleep and sometimes with one of the many apps available to help. During these meditations, I also ask myself a set of questions, among them like, what am I trying to achieve? What am I doing that is working? And what am I doing that is slowing me down, and what can I do to change? So that's are the possible, or the questions that I've said to myself. So, in summary, to perfect your management skills, the best place to start is self awareness. Means knowing your values, personality, needs, habits, emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and etc. With a sense of who you are and a vision of a person you want to become, a plan for professional or personal development can be created. Moreover, self awareness allows you to motivate yourself and manage your stress better, helps you with your intuitive decision making, and helps you to lead and motivate others more effectively. Self awareness is very useful.